Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Revell 1/48 scale Ju-87G-1 Stuka build that we've been building. And we are going to try to get the wings and the tail and the scoops put on in this video. And the instructions are calling out that we need to, by these stars, we need to drill these holes out for the actual cannons. So, according to this, we need to it's funny because the holes don't align with the drawing. The holes are right against this part right here. They're really close to it, but in the drawing they're away from it. Makes it kind of weird. But that is the only holes that I see where that's supposed to go, I believe. Let's check with the box just to make sure. Yeah, they go right. That would be it. According to the box, that's the right location. Away from the landing gear. But it's weird, they're right here and here. These two here. Which is right here and here, but it's closer, if you see in the drawing, than that. But anyways, let's go ahead and pre-drill our holes here for the cannons. And I chose the, before I started, I did all the cleanup on the parts to make it go a little quicker. And I chose the correct drill bit according to the indentions here. Nice squeaky pin vise. There it is. There's one. We'll have to clean that up with the knife a little bit. That blade must be getting a little dull. Or the drill bit, I mean. Must be getting a little dull. There's that one. Make sure I'm not drilling into my finger. That'd be the... Oh, these are a lot easier to drill through now. That would not be a good start to the video. There we have it. I'll just put that off to the side there. I'll pull this away and clean up them holes a little bit. There's one. Two. 3, and here's number 4. Alright. Yep, pre-drilled it, and basically I'll show you what I did. I'm trying to keep my area a little bit clean if I can. Drilled the holes from this side where the indentions were, and I just took the knife and put it in there. Just gently did a circle around it until all that plastic, the shavings that I didn't want there, were out of it. But there we go, we have our holes drilled for the cannons. And now it's looking like we need our little piece I keep dropping here. That has to be glued in here. Basically, it's got a little L-shaped deal here. See if I can get it to focus like that. A little better angle. It looks like it goes in this hole right here. So we'll get the thin set out and we'll glue that on first. I'm going to put a little at the end there. Just drop it into place and kind of hold it down for a minute. Let that cure. Pull my finger away from it as I glued my finger a little bit. But there we go. That's sticking out way far. And I was pretty lucky with the P40s that I was able to do the entire build. I put it on there. That one actually, I don't know if it had attached like this. Maybe it did. But went the whole build without breaking it off. I was very happy with that. We'll see what happens with the Stuka build though. So I did test fit these parts before I started the video because I wanted to make sure everything was cleaned up and lined up and had a good fit on it, and it actually fits together pretty well. So what I'm going to do, it's telling us after that is glued in, that was part number 22 by the way, to go ahead and put the top parts of the wings together. So we are moving right along. And we'll just get this glued together. Oh. I'll kind of do it in sections here. Move this one out of the way. And we'll just work our way toward the outside of it. And be very careful that we don't break that off through the build. Make sure that I'm going all the way down right, and that looks good there. So let's just continue gluing, shall we? I always get a kick out of that glue. Once you put it in, it just kind of goes right into the groove there. And I'm curious to see how much putty this one's gonna need. It's already looking better than the P40s did. That one required a lot of putty. Not so much on the wings, but the fuselage part. Excited to get this in the paint booth. Speaking of the paint booth, I've been working this bench that I built for this. I did a video to show the finished product of this L-shaped workbench that I did. Well, on this wall over here is where I had the paint booth. And it was basically sitting on a folding, one of those folding plastic tables, 6-foot long table. And I decided to make another big L-shaped workbench for that wall. So I got all sorts of room now. Yeah, this one's quite a bit bigger plane. I didn't realize the Stuka was this big. Then again, when I saw how big the IL-2 was, I was surprised by that too. Alright, so much for the leading edge and the tip of that one. Just need to do the trailing edge. And so far the fit is very nice. Very happy. Rightfully, I probably should have worked at this end and worked my way down that way. It pretty much is sitting where it needs to be, though. I guess I didn't really worry about it too much. And sometimes you get a bunch on there, sometimes you don't hardly get any. I remember on the P40, like I did inside gluing this tube on, got my finger caught in it. The P40 ended up getting my fingerprints on the outside of the edge of the wing. Had to do a little bit of fixing on it before I primed and painted it. But that is that side. Now, we'll do this side. I never did, and I didn't with the P40 either, but I probably should have done it here. They do have little pins there. I should have glued those. Put some on. I'm going to set it down so I can align it a little bit better. I'll just kind of hold that in place a little bit and let those pins sit up. It's funny, after I started using this thin set, like back in the day with the tube glue, modeling glue, that stuff that had the pretty strong smell to it. That's where I always hit the glue there on them pins. Now with this stuff, it seems like I do more of the seams because it's supposed to get in between the seams and basically welds it. I kind of got spoiled with that. I forget to put it on them pins sometimes. Hold that just a little bit. Make sure it's got a good seal. Yeah, this thing, I'm going to put it up against P40 here. See how much longer. It's got about 1.5 inches longer on each wing tip than the P40 does. P40's kind of hanging out next to me right now. I got stuff kind of everywhere because I just finished building that bench. Got to put the top on part of it yet. Probably gonna need a little putty right there. That's where it was attached to the sprue on the bottom, and I kind of took a little chunk out of it. It had a big old gate on it. Go down just a little longer. I think the next video I'll do will be on the rust. We did some chipping on the M3 Lee. We'll do the rust part of that chipping process. And the M3 Lee, the only real other thing I need to do on that is like I want to do some like dust effect on it. Like it got muddy and a little bit of dirt debris in the suspension part and whatnot. And then on this one, I'm gonna have to start that T34. Because if you didn't see the previous videos of this model build, I'm gonna have this on a diorama. It's gonna be swooping up from just dive bombing a T34. Now I'm going to put the LED light in it and do the cotton ball fire thing effect. But this one's got quite the camouflage scheme. It's going to be multi-colored. Very interested to get to doing painting that. Going to be a lot of masking, I think. Then again, after as much as masking as I've been doing on the USS Iowa build, that one should make a pro out of you. Yeah, little gap there where the light would be. They'll have to be filled with a little bit of putty too. Not terrible though. Not terrible at all. We'll get the wing done here, and I want to get the scoops on, and the tail for sure, in this video. And then we'll work on the landing gear. This one has the wheel pants on it. The stationary landing gear with the wheel pants. or whatever they call them. Oh. And that should seal up the wing for us. I'm gonna see what they... Yep, they show us next putting it onto the plane. That's the part I'm interested in, to see how much puttying is going to have to be done in between the fuselage. Because the P-40 was pretty bad with that as well. But you know what? You can't really complain. It says copyright 1968 on it, so it's not like it's a brand new tool. Not sure when this was. That's the thing about some of these models. It's older tools, but they rebox them. And unless you know the history of the kit, you really can't. Oh, that's got a nice tight fit. That's awesome. Or not do that before that dries though, but. Yeah, when I put the P-40's fuselage on the wing and it was like, it was that much gap in between. There was a lot of puttying on that plane. It turned out nice though. I can't really complain. Just a little cleanup on my flap here. We can fix that though. Either that or it's... Yeah. Got what I was going to say there. You can tell it's late at night and I'm getting tired. Been traveling a lot for work in the last couple months. So I haven't really gotten to sit down and do much. But even when you're tired, it's nice to go down in your hobby room and just relax and get lost in your build that you're doing for a while. So there's those wings there. Now on this other page, it does show putting it on the plane first. Then, yeah, after that, then it's showing put the scoops on. So, yeah, I don't see any reason why we can't just slap this thing together. Make it look like an airplane for once. That is not bad. Look at that. That is not bad at all, really, for a fit. Actually, really happy with that. Checking out my alignment over here. I am not going to complain about that. That is awesome. That's really nice fit. Not gonna take much, I don't think. So I'm gonna hold it here because the bottom of the wing is what wants to pop down a little bit. This seems to be where it needs to be. So So I'm gonna go ahead. The alignment looked great. I'm gonna go ahead and glue it on. I'm just going to concentrate on this part here, and the glue will sink in there. I want to make sure that I can get this down where it needs to be, like so. I'll check the alignment again. I'm just going to hold that into place for a bit, and the Stuka's got wings. A little bit of flash on the, right here on the corner by the trailing edge of the wing, right at the fuselage. I really like how the instrument panel turned out on this. Wish I would have thought about that when I did the P40. Sometimes I get a bunch on there, sometimes I don't hardly get any. Yeah, that's got an awesome fit to it. Okay. Let's turn it upside down and get the bottom here. There, I'm getting no glue. There it goes. Oh, look at that, it even balances nice. What would I do with my towels? There we go. Got a little bit of paint on there from the inside of that dark German gray. So now I was going to do the landing gear later I want to get the tail on. And the scoops. Because the wheels, I'll end up putting those together. I'm going to have to paint them the black and then whatever color the rims are supposed to be before I... yeah, because the tires and the rim need to be painted and detailed and everything. And then you got to put these two halves together. Then I'll have to tape off the tire that's exposed while I do the priming and painting of the entire plane. So let's go ahead and get these two air scoops in. And turn the propeller this way. Turn it upside down like this for now. And they're both numbered the same. They're the exact same. 28 is what they say in the instructions. And they go simple enough. Let's see, it's the smaller inlet goes in the front of the wing, and then this part that angles down goes in the back, according to the instructions. So I've got to make sure that I don't put them in the wrong direction. That would be bad. Because I know this glue from the engine on the Shelby, I put the wrong intake manifold in. And boy, that was something. Taking that out. So since that wants to move away, what I'm going to do, I believe, put some on this outer part of there like that, and then we'll just drop one of them in. Make sure it's straight before it cures. Looks pretty good. I'll do the same on the other side because they were sliding around really good. Small inlet to the front. Hey, how about that? Popped right down into place the way it should have. Like so. And just for giggles, I'm going to go ahead and get it around here in the front and back on both sides again. Just to make sure it got glue everywhere. This stuff evaporates pretty fast. You have some working time, but if I don't feel that it was, I do it as a precaution, I guess. Double, so I don't have to worry about them coming off. If the glue did happen to dry a little too much before I put the part down, this should weld it into place. So there's our two scoops. And then I wanted to go over to the tail and go ahead and put the tail on. Yeah, what I think we'll do in another video is the landing gear and the cannons together. And I'll have to find these two, the number 30 here. I'll have to find them. I didn't see them on the tree yet. But we're going to work with this right here. We're going to put number 31, which is our horizontal stabilizer for the back. and then we'll pop the rudder in and then put the bracing pieces in. So let's do that first. We need to get the horizontal stabilizer in first. Otherwise we're not going to have a horizontal stabilizer if we put the rudder in first. It's got a little pin there to keep it from going. Make sure that you get it into the right spot, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And that likes to move around. What if I push down on the... That helps. So that's that there. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. Because as you can see, it falls out pretty easily without any glue in it. So maybe I'll see how fast I can be. Let's put this here. I'll put a little glue on each side on the bottom. There and there. Just to get things started. Let's push down on this. Make sure we're straight. Oh, that's really teetery. Maybe I like this plan better. Squish down on it a little bit, kind of hold it in its place, and I'm going to go ahead and put some glue at the very tip. Let that set up for a second. Then what I'll do is take my measuring device and make sure that it's sitting where it needs to be. Because the back and forth like this will be, these little stabilizing pieces will keep it level the way it should be. Turn my prop before I break it again. Or not, I didn't break it before I break. Turn it again before I break it, is what I meant to say. Alright, so I'm just going to put it down here for a sec. Let's put this glue off to the side. I don't know if this is going to be... I'm going to do some measuring from wingtip to tail tip and see if I can... I'll go from the bottom edge here. Yeah, that's the 6. Do the same thing on this side. Bottom edge there. 6, so yeah, it should be pretty well where it needs to be. Look at it from this direction. And when I aligned it, if I turn it upside down here, it had lines that showed where it goes into the fuselage, and I'm actually looking at the elevator mold lines as well to make sure that they're even on each side and everything looks lined up the way it should. So that seemed to have worked out very well. Yeah, the tail's like, well, here you go. Check it out. It's not straight. But these things here are braces. Should correct that. And it looks like number 32 goes on the left side, and 33 goes on the right side. And let's see which direction it's... Let's put 33 in because it looks like it's going down on that side. That'll help push it up a little bit. And I want to get these on before I glue the entire thing down so that I can manipulate it a little bit. This is 33. Goes in that slot there, and it should go up to there. So let's glue it. And just let that one set up here. I'm just going to glue the bottoms for now. There we go. Looks about right. How are we looking? Oh, actually it is pretty straight. Must have bumped it into place or something. And then we'll get this other side in. It's plenty of glue. Don't think I'm going to have to add any extra glue to that. Uh-oh. I'm dropping it. There we go. Again. Yeah, that don't look too bad. So I could check the... Yeah, it's 90. I'm glad that's flexible. That'll be the first thing I break off, I guarantee you. Yeah. I think we got a winner there. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue the tail all the way around now. Like that. I like it. Then we'll give the top here a glue. We have what looks like an airplane now, finally. Yeah, I'm very happy that there's not a big gap between there. It's got very good fit. There's our tail braces there. And our scoops. And this part there survived the first video, at least. But anyways, we're going on 47 minutes there. I think we're gonna... Oh, no, we're not. We got one more thing to do. It's interesting. I thought this one might be a 20-minute video tops, but I'm really good at making things last forever, it seems like. Huh. We got a little alignment issue. I'm gonna have to, maybe we will call that a video. I'll let everything harden up, and it looks like I got a little bit of flash up top there that I'm gonna have to sand down and everything, but I want it to all settle up, so we'll call that for now. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.